1960s, which makes me 10 or 11 years old, and Mom's paint-by-number projects have joined bridge and crossword puzzles as her primary leisure time activities. After months of watching her at work, I ask if I can try it, if she will let me do a piece of the windmill. Was it that one, or was it the girl with the long golden blonde hair? And I'm thrilled when she says yes, thrilled that she trusts me enough to give me a chance. She shows me how to hold the brush, how to dip the tip into the paint so that I don't get too much on the very fine bristles. I'm nervous, worried that I'm going to make a mistake, that I'll go outside the lines and put color number 3 where color number 8 is supposed to go. I'm worried that I will ruin the whole thing. I'm not thinking about why she might have taken up this particular hobby, whether it's some sort of therapy or escape. She's never been an artist, and I'm old enough to understand that paint by number isn't real art. But at that moment, none of that matters. All that matters is the brush and the paint and Mom sitting close by and the magic of making something out of nothing, of bringing to life what was hidden in the numbers. That's number 1. Number 2 is about Annie. Very difficult to write about Annie, who I never knew about. Very difficult to reconstruct her life when she went into a mental institution where you can't get the records of her daily existence. So this is my attempt to describe Annie. Annie was born with a deformed leg that never straightened out. And at the age of 17, the leg was amputated and she was given a wooden leg so she would have supposedly a stable platform on which to walk. Here's what I write. Needing to inhabit Annie's world, I stopped by the Oakland School for Crippled Children on one of my Detroit visits. The handsome sandstone and brick building, which opened its doors in 1929, still serves physically handicapped students who make up about 1/3 of the population. The word crippled, however, disappeared from its name long ago. It's now known formally as the Oakland Elementary Orthopedic School. On the long drive to the school, located on the city's west side, the west side of Detroit, I wonder if there's any purpose to my visit. It's unlikely that Oakland, the equivalent of a junior high school back then, has any yearbooks or records of Annie's 6 years there, ending in 1937 when she was 18 years old, 3 years older than the typical 9th grade graduate. She only got a diploma, her hospital records said, because, quote, it was felt that it would encourage her, not because she'd actually accomplished that level of work. As I approach Oakland's front door, I have the impulse to turn around and head back to the car. What am I going to say when I enter the main office? Hi, I'm looking for a student who last walked these hallways 68 years ago. The school staff is going to think I've lost my mind. Annie might have been here once. She is here no longer. How wrong I am. No written record of Annie exists, but as a kind assistant principal gives me a tour, pointing out the original wooden handrails running the length of every hallway, I have no trouble envisioning Annie on her way to class, steadying herself as she goes. Amid the school corridor's usual cacophony, the hum of 100 voices, the giggles and shouts, and light taps of quickly moving shoes, I can hear the click and the thwud and the swoosh of crutches, prosthetic legs, and wheelchairs on the floor. I can't hear my aunt's voice or ask her any questions, but I can see her phantom figure, the brace on her useless right leg, struggling as best as she can with either crutch or handrail, pushing herself forward, a disabled Sisyphus on her unending journey. As classes begin and the noises recede, I stand alone in the now empty hallway, vacillating between feelings of anger and sadness. Anger that she had to endure so much pain, and sadness that she was born before science and medicine could do much for her afflictions. The last passage is about my cousin Anna, my mother's cousin, my grandmother's cousin, who came to the U.S. in 1949 as a survivor of the Holocaust. It's a remarkable story. She was 18 years old when she learned of a massacre in her town that was impending, and she, with the help of a German couple and some bogus papers that she had that identified her as a German child, she made her way 500 miles by train to the front, where she ended up at the age of 18 years old, the same age as Annie when she graduated. She ended up as a translator for the Wehrmacht. So she's living among the people who have murdered her family. She loses her whole family. She's living among them, and she's having to pretend that she's German. She and my mother have a rift, because when she comes to the United States, they talk about my mother's secret, because it's not a secret at my grandmother's level. Anna can't believe that my mother is keeping hidden an existing relative, but Anna has lost all of her relatives. They have a fight. They don't talk for 55 years. I had dinner with her in 2006, and Anna has been waiting to tell that story to me, the son of the woman she had to fight with. I then decided that I really need to understand her anger. I need to understand her Holocaust experience. So this is the conversation we have after 8 interviews and a lot of research into her story. I had come to Chicago to go over her story once more, to resolve some of the inevitable discrepancies that dim memory and buried pain have imposed upon her account. She wants to be helpful, tries to be precise, but not all the pieces fit together into a seamless narrative. Did you hide one night or two? Did you go to Brody just after the first massacre, or was that later? Why does this identification document say Volksdeutsch? Wouldn't that be a problem given what the major had said? Volksdeutsch is not quite what you needed to be a German citizen, although she did attain German citizenship. At one point she stops in mid-sentence, her eyes wide, suddenly misty. She apologizes, saying she woke up feeling nervous about some family tensions with her children, but confessing that yes, she sometimes finds it hard to remember such horrific times, that she'll never stop feeling guilty about working for the Nazis. I return the apology, saying that she's such a stoic that I sometimes don't realize how much pain my questions must cause her. She looks off in the distance, and I wonder whether I'm getting the full story, whether it's even possible to reach that level. Isn't it human nature to wall ourselves off from some of our most appalling experiences? She's a survivor, and she survived by lying, by reinventing herself, by taking a job with the killers who had murdered her family, who were bent on wiping out her fellow Jews. Her counterfeit identity gave her a new life, but it also took its toll, requiring her to nurture her deceit, to learn the art of lying, not really how to tell a lie, but how to live a lie. Because lying is the route to safety. Lying is survival. But always, always she lived with the fear of being discovered. She was a Jew hiding in plain sight, and to make her disguise believable, she had to believe her own deception. She had to make herself appear comfortable among the very enemy that had killed her family. She had to turn herself into a secret. So isn't it possible, no more than that, isn't it likely, that after the war, when she could go back to being Anna Schlein, a Jew from Radziwiłł, that she would find it hard 65 years later to keep it all straight, to help me separate the facts from the fictions, to satisfy my desire for precision when obscurity had been her goal.